Mastercard has officially gone all in on the crypto space with major partnerships with MetaMask. And recently, we've seen a lot of volatility in the crypto market, but there hasn't been a lot of price movement. And this recent partnership could be exactly what we needed to see this next stage of the bull market. And if we're looking at the overall market right now, we can see that with Bitcoin, it's hovering just below $60,000 per coin, right around $59,200. Ethereum is hovering right around $2,600 per coin. And if we're looking at the crypto fear and greed index, the crypto market has basically been in pretty much fear over the last week or so. It was in extreme fear last week and fear this week. The good thing about this is that historically, some of the best times to buy crypto in terms of historical averages, in terms of returns, has always been during periods of extreme fear and fear. So if you're looking at historical trends, what's been going on in the market, if you have bought every single time we've hit extreme fear and you've sold every time we've hit extreme greed, well, then you've made money. So this is actually really good for the overall market right now, is that, yeah, things have been trading sideways. Things haven't been so exciting, but usually those are the best times to continue accumulating. And if we're looking at some other things going on with Bitcoin, we could see that in terms of Bitcoin right now, currently 94% of the total 21 million Bitcoin supply has now been mined. And this is important because if you're looking at Bitcoin, this is something to be very excited about and even more bullish about Bitcoin's price, because if you're looking at it, ultimately what this means is that there's only a few more million Bitcoin that are ever going to be mined. And this is going to take a period of around 100 or so years. But ultimately, this just shows us that Bitcoin is going to continue to be more and more scarce. There's not enough Bitcoin for every single person to own one, and this is just going to continue to help drive the price higher as institutions and hedge funds and pensions all start to buy more and more Bitcoin and start getting more involved in crypto. Next up is I want to talk about a project that I've been involved in for quite a while. It's called Xborg, and it's actually launching its token on Swissborg, on Uniswap, and on Jupiter, all on August 19th. So today, as we are speaking, and the cool thing about this project is that they are building the world's largest player identity protocol to drive the evolution of online experiences. And ultimately, they're trying to entirely change the gaming industry and revolutionize the gaming industry by ultimately allowing players to own and use their data to unlock a more personalized experience. And you can see that this project is backed by some of the biggest names in the crypto space. You can see they're supported by ETH Foundation, Bybit, Aave, ESL, and a lot more. And the cool thing about this is that ultimately they're taking the best parts of two very successful crypto launches that we've seen over the past few years. Chiliz is a project that reached a $3 billion market cap in 2021. They partnered with sports and esports teams to create fan tokens. And Beam is another project that reached a $2 billion market cap earlier this year, ultimately following the launch of their Beam network and Beam SDK by ultimately providing tools to game developers. So similar to Chiliz, Xborg is partnering with top esports teams and creating fan tokens, but adding more utility for holders like governance, revenue share, and exclusive benefits. And similar to Beam, Xborg is going to be launching their own network with multiple SDKs to provide tools for developers to integrate identity into their games and apps. So ultimately, they're taking the best parts of both of these projects. And on top of this, they have the XBG reward program where Xborg has allocated 5% of the XBG supply and partner token airdrops to reward loyal holders and liquidity providers over the next 24 months. So this is massive as well. So now, if we're looking at what's been going on with this major partnership with Mastercard, we can see that Mastercard just came out and announced that in a partnership with MetaMask and banks, that they are going to be unveiling a revolutionary way to pay with crypto. They launched the world's first, MetaMask launched the world's first Mastercard debit card that enables instant spending directly from your self-custody wallet. So Mastercard has had partnerships with cryptocurrency exchanges in the past where you can have, your crypto on an exchange and you could go about buying different items just with the card. But this is the very first time ever that MetaMask, which is a self-custody wallet. So a self-custody wallet, now you can go about actually spending your crypto with a card. And this is something that is so exciting and so big because ultimately you can think about it like cash. If you have cash in your wallet, you're in charge. You have to make sure that no one steals your cash. Same thing with a self-custody crypto wallet. You're in charge of your crypto. You have to make sure no one steals it. You're responsible for keeping it basically yours and secure. And so with a self-custody wallet, that's something that people really like, is that they are in charge. There's no major exchange looking over them. And so with this partnership between MetaMask and Mastercard, now it's allowing you to spend your crypto that isn't on an exchange, that's just in your self-custody wallet. And this allows you to purchase, everyday items with fiat currency like euros or dollars. And this is anywhere around the world that Mastercard is accepted. The way it ultimately works is this MetaMask card is like a traditional debit card. Users can make purchases directly from their MetaMask wallet while retaining custody of their funds until the moment of the transaction. Crypto is then instantly converted to fiat and available to make purchases online or in store. Users need to hold their crypto on-chain on the Linea network and use MetaMask to set spending caps for the card, and they can store their keys wherever they choose. This partnership ultimately leverages the scale of Mastercard's network, the security of MetaMask and Bank's extensive experience building technology and card programs, and it's backed by the speed and cost efficiency of the Linea network running on top of Ethereum. So this is basically bringing crypto to the traditional space, like Web 2 space. It's bringing Web 3 over to Web 2 because with this partnership, you are able to, just like you can control the cash in your wallet and store that, and you're able to spend it however you want. This is exactly what this partnership is doing with MetaMask and with Mastercard. So this is really, really exciting. You could see that Mastercard released this entire article about it just a day or two ago, just like last week, talking about making of a self-custody Web3 card for a Web2 world. And this is very, very exciting. Other major news for crypto that is very bullish is what recently happened in Dubai. Recently, there was an order, like a court order in Dubai, and this case that was going on. And ultimately, the result of it was that Dubai officially approved Bitcoin and crypto for salary payments. This is very important because a Dubai court recognized crypto as a valid salary payment during a recent court hearing, and this was something that ultimately involved a worker's employment contract, which stipulated a monthly salary in fiat and 5,250 in EcoWatt tokens. And this dispute stems from the employer's inability to pay the tokens portion of the employee's salary in 6 months, and the lawyer recently came out and said, look, the court ruled in favor of the employee and ordered the payment of the crypto salary as per the employment contract without converting it to fiat. So this is something that's very important because it's not saying, look, they were promised these tokens and it should have been converted over to a set dollar amount. It's saying, no, look, they were supposed to be paid 5,250 tokens, and they weren't paid it as part of their salary. So as part of this court order, it required that the company paid these tokens regardless of whatever value they were. It required that they paid these tokens to the employee. And this is something that is massive for the crypto space because it shows that now in Dubai, cryptocurrency tokens is basically recognized as a valid salary payment because in the court order, they didn't say, oh, it had to be transferred to fiat. They were required to be paid a certain amount of dollars. No, it said, look, they were owed these tokens, they weren't paid these tokens, and this is what their salary should have been. So they should have gotten these tokens. So ultimately, this is something that is very, very exciting for the crypto space because we're seeing a lot of major developments take place right now in terms of the Bitcoin supply, in terms of MetaMask and their partnership with Mastercard, in terms of what's going on in Dubai. And after the recent market correction we've seen, the market is really prepared for a massive breakout, either to the upside or the downside. But ultimately, with a lot of the good news that's coming out right now, I'd like to see a bounce off of this support of around 57,500 and break through this downtrend that we've seen over the last week or so. And this would be exactly what we need, is if we see a breakout towards the upside right around here, we can start seeing the price rally back to around that $64,000 per coin range and start to make progress towards 70 and potentially record high prices towards the end of the year.